Men's action here, under 22s, as Southern Wolves take on Kinborough in the preliminary final. Ron Riggs, Justin Bryan. We'll be here at the Kinborough Sports Centre. Referees Connor Westwood and Beck Rumley. We are underway as Kinborough will control it to the left of your screen. And Nash, who had a solid game last week against... I can't remember who they played now, Chobo.
I can. It was the Grenadiers.
Archie Stewart, who was hesitant on threes early last week, but came clutch as for Payne, then Brown able to follow up and get scoring underway here for the Southern Wolves.
Yeah, star-studded Southern Wolves lineup here. The big question around Isaac Collins, though, grade 1 calf tear or strain, meant to be 6 or 8 weeker, but he's out there tonight. He's
certainly putting his body on the line, that is for sure. So Geordie Strasmer with it, and then Payne comes to lock it up, but a foul's been called on Fraser Payne, and Kinborough to get it back on the side here.
Fraser's been a very busy boy, Ronnie. He worked late last night at Swisher, that being the Tuesday night, and he worked this morning in the school group.
There you go. So the boy has been busy, that is for sure. Noah Strasmer, who had a very good game last week, can't get his first shot to connect. We're back down the floor here. Brown going baseline, and ball goes out of play.
So lineups here are Oldham, Collins, Payne, Richards, and Brown. Meanwhile, it is the Stratsma 2 and the Swisher connection of Bartlett, Nash and Stewart.
As Geordie Strasmer for 3 knocks it down and gets scoring on the way for Kinborough.
He's had a nice month or so of basketball, Geordie Stratsma, a nice state league. He's contributed well at 22 level. His basketball's really coming along in the second half of 2021.
It certainly has, that is for sure. Oldham at the 45 here, works his way middle. Now Collins open for 3, short arm on that. Payne able to pull down the rebound and continues to explore. Now Brown back at the top here. Shot clock at 8 for the Wolves. Ball goes inside. Good work by Bartlett, but then Collins able to regain and draw the foul. He'll go to line for 1.
Yeah, contact made there. Nice finish there by Collins, and good confidence too if he's running around with a bit of a calf strain. Ronnie, I've just noticed straight over the middle of that side of the court they're shooting on now, the lights are out.
They are. I think they've been out for a little while though down that end.
It's becoming more prevalent though as the night goes on.
Absolutely. So Isaac Collins here to convert the 3-point play. He's short on that one. Nash able to get the rebound, and so we go along here.
Fresh haircut for Caleb Nash.
Yes, certainly is. Now Stewart, who's supporting a mullet type hairstyle this week as well too, just long on that.
Had a lot going on, poor old Stewie.
And Brownie just too excited on the call there.
And you can hear everyone just telling him to be quiet.
Absolutely. We do have our effects mic on this week, JB, so we're certainly going to hear some sounds of the game. That is for sure. Bartlett and
not stepped in bounds.
That's a rookie mistake. Caleb Nash knows it as well too. So
just some miscommunication and timing there.
Yes, it was. So some Wolves to capitalise here, you would think, on this possession.
Just the bench here for the Kings, the Clark brothers. And Ryan Daly there for some support as well. He's been training with the squad.
There you go. As Oldham on the back door play gets it to go.
Yeah, nice finish there. And again, Southern Wolves have been the premier team, arguably, in this competition. Stepped out of bounds. That's a couple of easy turnovers. But Southern Wolves been the premier team of this competition in season 2021. Obviously, Richards and Collins being big along with Brown and Payne.
Absolutely. He's on cue. Payne, well, trying to go to Shana Thompson. Thompson missed that one and went into about the 3rd row of the stands here.
Yeah, Roscoe and Brad just ducking for their life there. Big screen there by Bartlett.
So Bartlett now with it, needs to give it off. Richards thought he travelled, but the referees didn't see it that way. Nash with the ball now. He looks to explore, kicks out to Noah Strasmer for the 3. Just off. Nash with his own tip, can't get that to go. She probably could have went 2 hands there.
Yeah, should have secured the board there, easier shot.
And now Collins down the floor here. Richards, who was training with the Jack Jumpers this morning when I came in for the media conference, and a foul on the play on Noah Strasmer.
Referee here is Connor Westwood and Beck Rumley. Of course, Connor coming back from sunning himself somewhere in a far more pleasant part of the country.
Yes, that is for sure. Well, Richards down low, goes over Strasmer and gets the 2 on the spin.
I'm liking that pink headband that Richo's rocking at the moment too, Ronnie.
Yes. And now clock issue here as Connor Westwood will fix this up, and we'll go on about Jacob's pink sweatband. And well,
tell you what,
I wonder where this has come from though.
Well, if he had the red headband, Ronnie, he'd be in full team attire. He'd be like the generic 2K setup there. Even
yes, he would be.
Chrissy Oldham with the blue undershirt as well. But
yes,
just looking at the bench there too, Ronnie, if we can get the bench there for the Wolves, please.
Jacoby Bone, Jackson Collins, Cooper Harris, and Jasper Hay.
There we go. Good work there for Ronnie.
And now Charlotte Collins trying to fix the scoreboard issues here. So doing everything here, the coach now trying to rectify a technical issue.
Maddie Stratzman down there on the bench has just come in, one of the leaders of the Kings, her 18th birthday today, and
yes.
I do know is looking forward to Saturday.
Absolutely, yes. Apparently our event clashes with her, so I believe we got an invite, JB.
Yeah, mine must have got lost in the post.
It must have. Meanwhile, Noah Strasburg puts it to the floor, goes up, can't get it off glass, gets his own rebound. One-on-one with Brown here, needs to kick it out. Nash goes baseline, another kick out pass to Bartlett. Now in turn to Stewart here, who needs to get busy with shot clock at 3. Can't get a bit of body English on that one. And now up the floor here through Brown. So Brown now into Richards. Good pass into Oldham. Good fake rejected by Strasburg. And Strasburg at the same time. Now Geordie Strasburg with it as he needs to control that ball a little bit. Brown really up and in on him. Now back to Noah Strasburg, who goes baseline. Splits through Collins and Brown, but can't get the two to go. So Noah is a little bit off in this first quarter. Richards, meanwhile, yeah, that will occur on the floor. Foul is going to be on, looks like it's going to be on Archie Stewart.
And the two X factors clearly in this game, Ronnie, are Jacob Richards and Noah Stratzma. The Kings are a far better team, and I think that you'd be silly to argue otherwise. I feel the Kings are a far better team with Noah Stratzma in it. However, he does demand a lot of attention. Meanwhile, Jacob Richards has that level of experience that's hard to counter.
And Brown just on that cut nicely gets that 2 to go. So 10-3 our scoreline here. Wolves out to a 7-point lead. 4 minutes into this first quarter as we come to you from the Kinborough Sports Centre. Under 22's preliminary final here as Nash puts it to the floor. Good fake, needs to, nice move by Caleb Nash.
And the girls go wild.
They certainly do.
Unbelievable stuff. Nice move by Caleb. Got the defender in the air, kept the pivot, and stepped through nicely.
That's nice work by Caleb Nash, who's been looking forward to this game for the last couple of days. He's been telling me off the record.
He had a nice little individual workout as Brown was fouled and won there, but nice finish by Luke Brown. But just a touch there on Caleb Nash. Had a nice individual workout with our friend Jeffrey down at Swisher today.
Ah, yes.
Who really put in the shots, really put in the work.
Archie Stewart coming out for Xavier Clark. So both Xavier and Noah out on the floor now. So Clark times 2, Strassman times 2, and Nash out on the floor for your Kinborough Kings. There's Clark. Now Strassman in turn. Nash decides to fire. And it was a good option for Caleb Nash from downtown.
Yeah, he was feeling that very nicely. Again, worked on that jump shot at Swisher this afternoon. And, yeah, that jumper looking very nice, Caleb, who's worked on it hard this year.
Margin back to 5 here, 13-8. As Payne goes himself and gets it to go. He'll go to the line for 1.
Yeah, held in contact.
And things just a little bit easy on near both ends. I think Mark Nash was looking for a timeout here.
Yeah, we'll see what comes of it. Brown, Bartlett, Wilton and Stratzma on the bench.
Yes, Mark Nash wanting a timeout here if Payne does knock down the free throw. And does.
Timeout taken. So Mark Nash will go to the clipboard. 15-8. 5 minutes exactly gone in the first term here, Ronnie. And, yeah, as you mentioned, things just looking fairly easy on both ends of the floor. I just think that the key here for Kingston at the moment is that they've actually dragged that defence up nicely of the Wolves. They haven't got them set there on that charge circle area. They're pushing them up sort of where you'll see there on our camera, around where that green circle and the white D of the netball court comes out. They're really forcing the big man to be there, allowing easy step-throughs, allowing some baseline drives. Meanwhile, again, for the Wolves, ultimately, I just think they're being a more rounded team, so to speak, as far as having that impact of Payne, having that impact of a Brown, having that impact of a Richards. Collins not so much today. You know, and even Chrissy Oldham is a nice, you know, essentially a 4th, 5th option, coming baseline while there's a bit of ball watching and executing there as well. So Mark Nash, again, wanting to key in on that defence here. and probably just wanting to stop some of those easy turnovers and some of the lightheartedness as far as possession of the ball when they're on offence as well. But the Wolves nicely in control, and they're set reasonably well here for the back half of this first term.
5 minutes to go here as we come to you from the Kinborough Sports Centre.
I feel we need a telestrator, Ronnie, so we can draw on screen for the folks.
Yes, that's in the budget. I'm hoping it's going to be in the budget in the next couple of years, JB, that's for sure. Meanwhile, Clark for 3. Well, so that's a pass as he gets it back now.
Hey!
A nice acrobatic move by Noah Clark for the 2.
I'm a lot more excited about the way the Kings are playing their offence. They're playing highlight reel basketball, but they need to transfer that confidence there, Dol, again.
And Richards is too big, too strong. I think the matchup will be a worry there between Richards and Strasmer.
Absolutely, and it's not height-wise, it's just physical-wise.
Yeah. So Clark, and stepped out of court. Again, the light blue lines on this show court here. Of course, the current home for the Tasmanian Jack Jumpers as a training base.
Training base.
Yes, I was there. I was just cleaning that one up. And, of course, the home of the Hobart Chargers in the NBL 1 South competition as well too. So, and a bit of Jack Jumper flavour around the stadium as well too. We'll get to that a little bit later. Meanwhile, Payne, closely guarded by Clark. Collins decides to fire, and this hits the support system. So substitution to be made. Archie Stewart come back in for Caleb Nash.
So fresh haircuts all around here.
Yeah. So
Caleb with a very fresh do, and
yes.
Archie running around with the moulet. And
I just wonder if his dad approved.
Well,
that.
I heard that it was a mum-approved thing. So,
okay.
If mum approves, I don't see dad arguing.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one, JB. Strasman. Yes, good growth. Clark with it as he goes baseline. Oh, nice
defense
move,
by Richards.
Good work by Jacob Richards down on that end. Now Brown with it. Decided to pull up. Now gets it back. Going to Richards on the
Oh, you could see it unfolding.
So close. Meanwhile, turnover here as Richards will get the 2.
Yeah, easy there. And again, just maintaining possession of that basketball. This one back out now to 9 points, 19-10, and the Wolves just wanting to solidify their lead.
Absolutely. So Stewart now, Strasmer, who finds the gap, goes up. This time gets the 2 to go.
Nice hanging elevation there on that jumper there by Richo. And again, it's just that length, long arms, long legs, able to take that little extra step to get the advantage.
Payne with the ball carrying duties here as he works his way through into Richards, but just mistimed down on the pass.
And that's something if I'm the Kings, I want him to capitalise here. Watching your point guard and your lead scorer, Richo, that ability, he's playing that 5, but he does play like that 3. And if I'm Coach Nash or I'm the defence here of the Kings, I'm wanting to capitalise on that miscommunication just to build some frustration.
So Clark with it here. Now Stewart.
Now, we did find, Ronnie, that Stewart last week wasn't ankle, wasn't knees. He just it wasn't ankle or sunburn, it was knees. He'd been for a 10K.
There you go. So now Payne with it here on the turn. Nice hands by Noah Clark there to strip that one from Fraser Payne.
Yeah, nice finish there by Noah Clark. And again, they're all doing their bit as Mr. Vanderkamp walks away and gives us nothing.
Nothing.
Absolute donuts.
My goodness. Meanwhile, Oldham here at the 45. Now Payne puts it to the floor. Now kick out pass. Brown for 3. Missed everything.
Looked pretty smooth up through the lens of the camera though, Ronnie.
Payne. Now Richards here, so he attacks the middle, goes up, can't get the finish. Now Clark with it as we come back down the floor here. Clark has his brother in support, which is Noah, and a travel though violated first. Mark Nash not happy with the call there. Substitutions. Jacoby Bone, Jackson Collins coming in, Fraser Payne and Chris Oldham are going to have a breather.
We've got another sub, Ronnie, but he's got the jersey caught in the shirt.
Jasper Hay just realising that he should be out on the floor here and now comes on. No, he needs to come off because his sub didn't come off for him. So next sub for Jasper Hay. We'll mark that one on the Instagram page maybe. Meanwhile, Jacoby Bone gets the 2.
Poor bloke got his shirt caught in his jersey, just didn't quite make it.
That's a rookie 101 mistake by Jasper Hay. I think we're going to have to remind him that he needs to be ready at all times. Strassman was ready for the 3, but couldn't get that 3 to go. 2 minutes remaining in this first quarter.
I believe there was a Lakers player during the week, Ronnie, actually checked into his game as a score by Collins. Checked into the game with a face mask still on.
Well, can't be, as we say, bye to the Bandicam.
We'll be over for Christmas.
Yes. Meanwhile, Stewart, I want to come back to that point. Good
What's going to Christmas?
Yeah, travel. And now Jasper Hay will come in. Caleb Nash will come in. Looks like Noel Clark will have a rest, and Isaac Collins will finally get his rest. I was going to say, our good friend, what's his name? Jarbo?
Jarbo.
Jarbo. Yes. That's what I was trying to get to on that Jasper Hay thing. Meanwhile.
Oh, Jacoby Bone.
Yeah.
Jackson Collins was standing in the 5th row.
He was. So Collins is outside of court. Shoot the ball, says Charlotte Collins. So
it's all right to shoot it, but you've got to be on the floor.
Absolutely. So Clark here goes for 3. Yes.
Bottom of the net.
Xavier Clark from downtown, JB.
I must say, Mark Nash didn't seem too impressed. In fact, a lot of the really hype plays we've seen, Nash in the last couple of weeks just hasn't seemed very happy with them.
Good defence and travel violation called. Jacob Richards probably want a foul call, but I think Connor Westwood will explain that they're all straight up on that.
Yeah, walled straight up and pretty much got caught in his own feet as Stratsma comes in for Stratsma.
Yes, Noah in for Geordie.
Geordie in for Noah.
Now Nash, he's Stewart. Mark Nash wants that ball to swing, and then Xavier, Xavier Clark got caught in 2 minds. Bone into Richards. Bartlett did a good job there on the defensive end. Now Xavier Clark has it, gives it off to Strathmore as we're coming back down the floor. Under a minute remaining here in this first quarter as the double team arrives. Now Nash, Xavier Clark for back-to-back triples!
And Mark Nash very happy about that one, so that's just got the crowd up a bit. It's back to 6, and the Kings playing with some confidence here.
Bone, now Brown going to attack hard here. Kick out pass to Bone. Bone works his ball, trying to look for Hay. Last touch by a Southern Wolves player. Now Charlotte Collins quickly wanting Isaac Collins into the game.
Yeah, Jacoby Bone heading out, so they're going to play a tall lineup here. Fraser Payne wanting to come in as well.
So Jasper Hay will have a breather.
So they've actually gone back to their starting lineup outside of Oldham. Collins has got Jackson and Isaac Collins both in this set.
Shot clock is out, so the Kings can utilise the whole game clock if they want. Clark with it now, looking for a quick on ball. That comes late. Nash puts it to the floor on the fake. And now Nash, kick out. Stewart from deep. Can't get that to go, and that will be a foul on Richards. Good work by Caleb Nash there.
And they're going to go to the line for 2, but I think Mark's wanting a bit of a plan here. No, they're not.
No, it's only a second team foul.
Yeah, I got confused there.
Ball goes out of play, 1.2. Light team is Southern Wolves. Dark team is Kinborough, JB.
Don't get me started. You know my thoughts.
Yes, I do. Nash. Now Clark throws up a prayer, just short, and an entertaining first quarter. See Southern Wolves lead it by 6. It's 24 playing 18.
Yeah, 24 playing 18. I just thought the Southern Wolves had a nice little run there. They could have extended on, could have got that one out towards that 15-point margin. They were up by 9 with some solid momentum, but the Kings just playing with a bit of grit, forcing some errant turnovers, some errant shots. They've built some frustration amongst the Wolves in turn. They've come out, hit a couple of confident shots. Scoreboard not reflecting it, Ronnie, but I think the Kings have momentum and certainly have this game playing to their style. Again, for the Wolves, let's go to the bench, let's take a breather, let's reset. Understand that when we start this quarter now, don't look at it 24-18, look at it at 6-0. You're on a 6-0 run, you've got a 6-point lead. Build on that 6-point lead. Simple stuff. You know, understand that your penetration breakdowns are working. You're able to get a lot of work off the baseline from ball watching. They've had a lot of success with it this year. They need to build with it. The chemistry with Payne and Richo, that's no real issue. I think the Kings defence deserves a little bit of credit there. But again, it's just making those reads. You know, Payne understands now that Richo wants to be hit in a corner when he's there, vice versa. He also wants Richo to be diving to the hoop on an open lane. You know, they're little things you can knack out, but I really do think the Kings have really built nicely here. They've disrupted the Wolves. They've made them, forced them into some bad turnovers, some bad errors. A couple of confidence plays here, momentum in their favour. 6 points, not much of a margin when you've got confidence on your side, Ronnie.
Absolutely, and of course, out here at the Kinborough Sports Centre, as we say, the training base for the Jack Jumpers, who have got a big sign down one end saying "Defend the Island," which is a nice little motto to use here as we get underway here in the second quarter. Fraser Payne with the ball carrying duties now, and he works this ball around to Brown. Now in turn, Richards here, about 45 elbow. And now Brown on that back door. Good pass into Collins, who couldn't get the 2 to go. He wanted a call, couldn't get it. Now Strasma down the floor here has Clark in support for that corner three. Xavier Clark continuing his good form from deep.
Absolutely. Mark Nash imploring his troop to get back on defence as well, but the confidence, again, really is with the Kings right now.
So Brown, now Collins here, margin is at 3. Turnover here. Now Clark off and running, can get back-to-back baskets. Wanted a call, couldn't get it. Mark Nash really emphasising that.
Yeah, thought there was a push in the back.
And then foot violation here, which will kill the momentum on everyone's part.
Yeah, no, I thought he did have a little bit of a bump. The other thing that also didn't help on that break, Ronnie, pulling up hesitantly, referee probably encountering for the momentum of the defender.
Yes, it looked like there was a little bit of, kind of draw fish, and Richards goes up and Nash made contact.
And again, this is not a bad thing for the Wolves, though. They've had to fight through the grit. They've had to fight through the confidence. What they have to do now, again, the little things. Get to the line, hit the extra pass, keep the momentum. If you need to work your clock, get through your sets and get the game back on your terms.
As Richards knocks down the free throw, he's had many shots today. As I mentioned, he was at Jack Jumpers practice today when coming in for the weekly media conference. And shooting around with Jack Stanwicks, by the way, too, who's also another guest kind of player in the training side. Stewart from deep. Yes.
Shots are starting to drop here for the Kings, and that is not a good sign if you're a member of the Southern Wolves. This game could have been 15, it's now 2 points.
So Stewart knocks down the 3 here. All of a sudden we're back to a 2-point ball game. Brown wanted to go baseline. Strassman able to read that. Here's Oldham, now Richards, and there'll be a foul on Stewart there, just over gambling on that one.
Yeah, overcompensated, tried to sneak in under the defender's arm there, made contact as he called for the ref, but I am liking the way the Kings are playing this game, Ronnie. I still feel they've got a slight edge momentum-wise.
Yes, it's certainly going to be certainly in for a good game, that is for sure. Living up to all expectations here. Oldham brought a mid-range too.
Yeah, nice jumper there from Chris Oldham. We've seen him knock a few of those down the last couple of weeks, but that baseline's still readily available at their disposal if the Wolves want to take it.
Nash wanted to crossover.
No
Stewart
way.
decides to go for, well, nearly. Nash got his own, got the rebound. Strathmore, pull-up J is good.
Yeah, nice confidence there by Strathmore. Could have tried to blow all the way for the dunk, could have tried to take the 3, but took the smart third option there, kept this game in balance.
So Collins, Oldham here, some good stuff happening both ends of the floor. Oldham tries to split for a couple and that'll be a travel violation. Yeah,
travel violation, so good defence. And again, the Kings now, they want to run a stack offence here by Coach Nash, but a good chance to tie or take the lead here. And, you know, if I'm Charlotte Collins, if that happens, I'm looking for a timeout.
So Nash here with the ball carrying duties, just ticked over 2 minutes in this second quarter. Stewart thought about it, now puts it to the floor. We did see a fair bit of that from Stewart last week. Here's Clark, now putting on some moves and needs to find Nash, does so. Nash thinking about it, goes middle, kick out. Jordan Strathmore for the corner 3, just overcooked it. And now we're coming up the floor here through Payne, who, yeah, that's a reach-in foul there on Xavier Clark.
Yeah, Clark just saying, you know, let him go by, get back and find your man. But the big thing there for Coach Nash, they'll be happy with that execution of that play. They got what they wanted, got the look. Good compensation by the Wolves, though. But 28-26, and we've still got 7.5 remaining, Ronnie. It's been a cracking start to this game.
Absolutely, no, it's been good from the word go here, that is for sure. Payne now into Brown. Brown one-on-one with Nash. Double team arrived and Richards throws it down.
Yeah, and that's a good little mental boost there. A two-handed wham, bam, jam, thank you, ma'am. Again, the opposition now just needs to get over the fact that it was a dunk and that it was only 2 points.
So Stewart goes up, can't get the 2 to go, gets his own rebound, kick out pass here to Strathmore. Stewart for the corner 3. Just off.
Impeccable footwork too, so got away with that one.
Yeah, he sure did. Now Payne goes up, try to go to Oldham, then back around pass, and never worked.
Must have been a deflection, because otherwise that's a travel.
Yep. Clark tiptoeing that light blue line and can't get the 3 to go.
Fraser Payne from the clouds.
Coming through from out of nowhere, as Oldham needs to slow this one down, as both teams kind of get into a bit of a track meet situation.
Yeah, they just need to slow and get into their sets. Track meet hasn't worked for these teams so far.
So Richards inside, good read by Strathmore. Payne with the spin, a turtle move for a no cent finish there.
I thought they'd come off dark blue, nonetheless. Substitution, Hudson Bartlett, and that looks to be Noah Clark coming into the game.
Yes.
Zave Clark heading out, Caleb Nash heading out as well. Scores are 30-26, 6-16 remaining in the second quarter.
If only that was the 3, JB.
Oh, hell yeah.
There we go. Meanwhile, Richards here with the ball. And good fake into Brown. And Brown, nice little hook there.
And you can see there too, that baseline again opening up. Isaac Collins with that third pass option, but a good finish by Brown.
So margin back out to 6 here. Stewart goes. He needs to kick it out now. Strasma thought about it. Now Noah Clark with it here. And then that's a poor pass, and Richards might make him pay. Alley play to Brown.
Whoa.
And gets it to go. He'll go to the line for one. Some acrobatic play by the Southern Wolves.
Yeah, a massive finish there. Contact there by Straatsma, just trying to contest that late. And again, you can just see it's that little mental edge I feel on that dunk there, Ronnie.
Yeah.
That's back into the right. Wow, he's thrown it down. Let's click on. They have clicked on. It's now an 8-point game. And for the Kings, I think they're just ruining their opportunities. A couple of looks that just didn't quite get there. Bartlett with the rebound and Kings on the transition.
So now Strasma with it here. Wanted to go to Bartlett, but pass was deflected. And now Strasma able to get it back. Decides to go for 3. Flat on that. And then good work. Touch passes galore happening here.
Slow down.
At the Kinborough Sports Centre. Got to get our comments in a bit more quicker. Oldham for the 2. And Mark Nash has seen enough. He'll call timeout. His margin is blown out to 9. No, 10. Make it
definitely 10.
36-26.
Yeah, Ronnie, again, it's just the little things there for Kinborough Huon. They had a couple of nice looks at 3. They probably had a couple of rush shots off the back of that. Transition down. It was a 2-point game. Jacob Richards throws down the dunk. We get some nice transition play from the Wolves. They get the contact and one finish by Luke Brown, and then everything starts clicking. So again, it is a game of runs. The run right now is back in the Wolves' momentum. We're halfway through the second term, and again, everything is back on their terms. For the Kings, they're going to have to really be careful of that baseline. That penetration dribble by either Brown or Richards is really opening up now for either Collins or Oldham as they come through. Meanwhile, for the Kings, you know, they are a good shooting team. They live by the shot, die by the shot, but they also need to understand at this point what is a smart shot to take. You're down 10 in a preliminary final. It is a game of runs. Your run will return, but, you know, there are just the little things. It is executing the pass. It's not rushing the possession. You know, when you get that ball immediately, no need to reset and take a jumper 3 seconds in. Wait for everyone to come down, run a set, get what you need. They've proven they can do it. Clark boys just gone a little bit cold here. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think this is a time that we talk about with Noah Straatsma. This is the time for him to step up and take over. This is where he needs to demand the basketball. I think Noah's the guy to make your plays here down the stretch of the second.
Absolutely. Game underway once again here with Clark.
Nearly dragged that pivot.
Yeah, he did. And then Brown over deflect. Brown trying to state his case there, but won't win that one.
And again, just the pressure of the Wolves, forcing that early pickup and forcing the ball to be give up in a possession where they have the defensive advantage.
So Noel Clark with it as he goes kick out pass to Strasma. Now back out to Clark. So Clark step back 3 is good for Noah Clark.
Lovely footwork too there as well. Really squared himself up nicely, propped himself towards the basket. Game back to 7.
So 36-29 as Collins. Here's Richards for the response. Yes.
Woo, that's deep. Massive shot there by Jacob Richards, who has been the catalyst for this run for the Wolves.
So marching back out to 10 once again here. There's Noel Clark thought about
Nearly
it.
a double dribble, I thought, Ronnie.
He looked like he didn't. So Strasma puts it to the floor. Now Clark once again goes baseline.
Oh,
nice
the athleticism.
Step, and gets the 2 to go. Good work by Noel Clark.
And now the good work there by Clark on the drive needs to be backed up by the defence here of his team. Help wrestle momentum once again.
So Collins going to the back there of Fraser Payne. Now ball. Ooh, now that was a bit. Well, I wasn't sure what that was.
Jeez, I hope so.
A bit of overcooked there. And Clark thought about it. Now Strasford down low at the corner there. Tiptoeing that light blue line here of the show court. Stewart for 3. In and out on that one. And then Strasford coming over the top, and that will be a foul.
Yeah, easy call to make there. Substitutions and
timeout by Charlotte Collins.
Yeah, timeout by Charlotte Collins. Not a bad timeout. Again, can just sense that there's a little bit building here for the Kings. I think that's just a smart little stoppage to be made there. So 3:56 remaining, 39-31. Again, just reiterating really on that one, Ronnie. You can see that Kings have probably settled down a little bit in those couple of possessions. They come down the floor. They haven't tried to rush their shot. They've tried to get some ball movement. But again, for the Wolves, they're trying to capitalise and either hit those corners or hit that baseline. The defence of the Kings is probably up just a fraction. Fraser Payne getting a catch behind the defence there. Now, they're able to recover, but the problem is if he starts driving baseline, you've got Collins, you've got Richards, you've got Brown. Your options then open up even further. So it'll be really interesting to see how much they change that up. But, yeah, you can just sense that's a smart timeout. I don't feel too much momentum's gone from the Wolves, but they can certainly sense the Kings have switched back on and Collins wanting to make an adjustment accordingly.
Yes, absolutely, and probably burning the timeout that she has in this half. So, again, a wise move there by Charlotte Collins. Mark Nash's final instructions before they come back out on the floor. Here, not a bad little crowd in as well too.
Yeah, Kings game always draws a nice little crowd. And
Yes,
we're hoping for a nice crowd at one of the spiritual homes of basketball in the south over at the Warrane Basketball Stadium Saturday night. The winner of this game taking on Glenorchy, who will certainly be without Phoenix Roby, Ronnie.
Yes.
He's sitting a crucial university entrance test or exam, I do believe, in Queensland in Brisbane on that night. So
he is. He's a busy boy. He's helping me out tomorrow with the gig that we can't talk about just yet.
Thought you would. You went to reveal it and you stopped yourself. Yep. I like that self-censoring, Ronnie. I tell you what, I wish I had some of it.
Meanwhile, Clark for three. Bang! Yes, Noah Clark from downtown.
And again, this game back to 6, but here's the key for the Wolves. They've got the experience. They've been the favourite team all year. Can they just hold on to this?
Richards for a response. Overcooked everything. And
is that punch?
That was punch. That's a violation. You are not allowed to punch the ball.
That's a really, really easy call.
This is not the AFL.
I tell you what, I'd argue the AFL's less physical.
It's not the AFL, man.
I'd argue
Chris Oldham just looking at us.
I'd argue the AFL's less physical, Ronnie.
Good point. Meanwhile, Nash with the ball carrying duties here. Now Clark puts it to the floor.
He's had a hell of a quarter here, Clark.
Certainly is. So, Strasma just out to Nash.
Getting stagnant their offense here, the Kings.
Nash working his way through. Needs help. Wraparound pass to Xavier Clark here.
And he stepped out of bounds.
Again, that light blue line. So I think, again, the open court not really helping anyone here at the moment.
I think I just heard Mark Nash yell out light blue.
Right. Okay.
And I don't think he meant uniforms.
No, I think he meant the line like I was.
I wish the scoreboard did, though.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jay.
Sheesh.
Nice hands by Caleb Nash. Knocked that one off from Brown.
Going to see a dunk?
And now Clark goes up.
Ooh.
And Brown with a good contest, but not there. Xavier Clark with the 2.
So I can just sense the Wolves here are just undoing a little bit. This game's now back to 4. They had the ability to really punch this if they wanted to.
Absolutely. And then Brown able to respond. When you think there was a run, that run was right there, and then the Wolves come back and answer. So, some good questions questions without notice here from the Kinborough Kings, but
some nice answers. Nice
answers from the Southern Wolves, who are looking to use a bit of a 94A to really, get this Kinborough team out of here.
Well. Oh, my goodness, I appreciate the reference, and I'm sure that one of our best friends who will probably rewatch this game will enjoy the commentary. He'll understand that one too, but I just think the big one there too, Ron, nearly a carry there by Noah Stratsma. But again, the bonus for the Wolves is the outside shot from the Kings. No good. But the Wolves' best offense is when they're attacking the rim, and if they're not getting successful baskets when they're dumping down, they need to stick to it.
Absolutely. Jacoby Bone looking to check in.
AOS point of view. Yes. There's that attack of the rim.
There it is. So Collins now goes up and gets the crafty reverse to go.
Again, getting inside, using their size, forcing the defence to collapse and opening shooters and or cutters. It's the best thing for the Wolves.
So Clark to Clark as the Twins combine here. Now, Clark and Nash lined up. Nash says, I'll take it, but no ball rotation on that ball. Now, Stewart kicks it out. Clark goes up.
Took the contact nicely, couldn't get it finished.
And then good hands there by Strasma. Brown and Collins able to recover. As we're back down the floor here for Richards, who's looking for Oldham, but that was poor option. And good save by Stewart. Now ball up the floor here quickly is Clark. Nice hezzy. And then kick out pass to his brother. Now Stewart for 3. He started to play, couldn't finish the play. And now ball up the floor quick as Brown gets trapped a bit. Now Payne spins and gets the 2.
Yeah, nice by Fraser Payne. And again, the Kings just with multiple options couldn't do it. But thankfully, the Wolves have settled now, back out to 10. This is where they need to attack for 10-15.
And Stewart knocks down the floater here with about 1:10 to go.
Each team, though, Ronnie, just seems to find some sort of answer or something to stem or quell a run.
And it's coming from a different player as well too. It's not necessarily that one same player. It's a different player.
Yeah, it started with the Clarks, and then it was Stewart, and then it was Nash. Stratsma.
Wraparound pass there to Brown. Payne to Brown now, yes.
Yeah, and he's pretty happy with that one. Outside shot hasn't been the best friend of the Wolves, but he makes that one. They're up by 11.
So under 40 seconds to play here. The Kings are looking to bring this margin back to single digits as Clark drives by. Nice drive by Xavier Clark.
And from Noah to Xavier, Noah started the quarter on fire. Xavier started the quarter on fire. The clock's running. Now the shot clock is underneath, so there's no need to use that one. Smart, good IQ there from Fraser Payne.
Yes, good heads up. Yeah, Richards now, game clock at 10 here.
He won't shoot that.
As everyone has come to a standstill.
4 and 1 loading.
So Payne now for 3. Yes, Fraser Payne with a half-time three-pointer that will give them momentum going into the half, and they put this margin out to 12 points, and Mark Nash cannot be happy.
No, cannot be happy, especially when there were 2 chances there by the Kings. They were within 2. The game blew out by 10. They stemmed it nicely once again. It started to extend out to, got down to that 4 3-point margin, and then once again, more responses by the Wolves. And after we spoke about how their best offense was dribble penetration, dumping down and utilising the inside game, Ronnie, they nailed 2 3-pointers and they blow it out and defy any odds or any common sense I seem to have on that one. As Belinda is just looking at the mullet. She's just seen the mullet. Cannot believe it.
Best reaction we've seen all day.
And young Thomas is still smiling. And that will be wiped from the face once he arrives home. Anyway,
yes.
Previewing the second half.
Meanwhile, Larissa Bartlett has just moved from 1 to... I think she's had enough.
I don't blame her. I moved 4 hours away. My mum never come back either. 52-40. But second half here again, the big thing for the Kings, and again, we talk about it all the time, Ronnie, each game there seems to be just a hurdle and a hump. When teams making a comeback they can't get over. Right now, it's that 2, 3, 4-point margin for the Kings. They get there, they build momentum, they have that ability to scruff things, really bring them in close and really make it a good fight. Unfortunately, though, there's those long-ranging hook shots, those long-ranging clubbing blows just to end the round, essentially, every time. And, yeah, the Wolves really capitalising there again. They changed up their offence there, that collapsing D, that penetration, that collapsing D.
You don't like the mullet? Okay,
Did not like the mullet.
But you approved it, didn't you? I heard you approved it.
Approved Archie's. Put the microphone away, Ronnie. Not putting that on sound. You're right. Good Lord. Ronnie, what are you doing? You're trying to get us sacked here.
I don't like it.
No one likes the moulet. I'm going to get one now. Well, all of us at Swisher will get mullets.
No, I definitely don't want one, Bruce.
Ronnie will get the skullet.
Thank you very much.
Half-time is underway, Ronnie. But yes, as I mentioned, the Southern Wolves just changed up their offense a bit, really stung the Kings. For the Kings, what they need, yes, we can have it back now, but for the Kings, the key is to get over that 2, 3, 4-point hump and really make this a fair fight.
And Richards with the rebound and can't get the first tip in to go. Second tip in is good. We have too much fun on this broadcast, JB.
Well, at least we do.
Yes, absolutely. Meanwhile, Strassman now here, Nash. Is the ball getting moved around from side to side? Ball with Xavier Clark here.
Oh!
Some nice moves. Now Nash working his way through. Kick out pass to Stewart. We haven't found out about his mullet, but anyway, meanwhile, he goes up. Nash with a tip and gets it to go. Caleb Nash to line for 1.
Yeah, Caleb Nash very happy. As far as Archie Stewart's mullet, it was approved. It was discussed and it was approved,
right.
So it is fine. However, I have a feeling young Thomas might have DIY'd that one. Let's, good Lord, we'll move on from that. Over-unders on, yeah, no comment. Anyway, missed the free throw.
And
transition basket's too easy.
And Isaac Collins just kind of sneaking backdoor on everyone on that play.
Yeah, so again, you know, you can just see there the Kings trying to wrestle momentum, miss a free throw, give up easy basket. That's a 3-point swing.
And Stewart now putting on some moves. Now Nash. Here's Xavier Clark.
Too much. I feel there's too much dribbling going on here for the Kings.
Strasma. Nash needs to put up with one on the shot clock and gets it to go.
He can't believe it himself.
Nash on the shot clock buzzer.
Luke Brown's just been put on the backside there. We'll keep an eye on that one. But back to 11. Here's where the Kings need to lock in and start to arrest some momentum.
So Richards, now puts it to the floor. Now Jackson Collins for three. Short on that one. Strasma with the rebound. Kings off and running here. Strasma needs numbers in support. Goes to his brother in Jordan. Now Clark from the corner. Yes! And back-to-back threes for the Kinborough Kings.
So here's where confidence comes into the Kings camp. They need to arrest some defence here. Bring it back to a 5-point, 6-point ball game. Let's see what they can do.
So Richards here puts it to the floor. Needs either help or he goes solo, and it was a good option by Jacob Richards.
Just too big and too athletic, Ronnie. That's a 6'7" guy who's playing the 5 and can run around like a 2.
Strasma thought about it, wanted to go baseline. Now Nash for another three, just short on that one.
Yeah, he was confident, more confident than the swag he has with the blue and white shirt and a gold chain on a Saturday.
Oh my, absolutely. Richards, now Bone puts it to the floor. Nice pass in the Collins, who nearly couldn't reel that one in. Now Bone gets it back and gets the two.
Accidental two-man game there. This one back out to 12. And again now for the Kings, it's get a shot, get a stop, get a shot, get a stop. Do or die season on the line.
Absolutely. Clark from
My God.
deep. Flat on that one. And maybe Mark Nash might need the timeout button here, as we're just getting a little bit stagnant on the Kings offensive end. So Richards puts it to the floor, goes up, and draws the foul on Noah Strasma.
Yeah, Stratsma's swinging arms was always going to cause some problems. And as a former ref, Ronnie, that just makes your job a little bit easier when
it does.
When there's contact and the player's not straight up. That's a really easy call to make. Again, here for the Wolves, the game's certainly in their momentum, and there is that clear sense of we're on top in this one. And after they've given up a couple of points and a couple of baskets here or there, they're still in the lead and still reasonably in control. But for the Kings, it's get a basket, get a stop, get a basket, get a stop. They need to be playing do or die here, because any team taking on that Glenorchy squad Saturday without Phoenix, while it will be an easier task, it's certainly going to be a hard task still.
Absolutely. Strasma goes baseline, kick out. Ball getting moved around. Stewart with it here. As Strasma nearly loses it. And just about. Apparently held of the arm there by either Strasma or Richards. And ball goes out of play. Referee Beck Ramey saying kind of both pushed each other out on that contest. So
I think,
no call made.
I think too, on top of that, hard to call, especially for Beck. She's in a blindside situation. Very hard to call backcourt.
Payne puts it to the floor. Kick out here to Collins. Now Richards. And finds Brown here. So Brown closely guarded. Now Collins inside. Kick out to Payne for three.
Good pass.
We'll say that's a pass.
He smiles.
Collins.
I know Fraser pretty well. That's an assist. That's what he'll say anyway.
Yeah, we'll count that as a pass.
It's a 2K assist.
Thank you. Stewart puts it to the floor. And then just lost a handle there. Good work by Payne there to regather. As we come back down the floor here. So Payne goes for it and off glass gets the two. Yeah. And Mark Nash has seen enough once again, and we'll call timeout. Margin at 18.
Yeah, margin at 18. As I mentioned for Mark, this will be, they had a nice little run early, broken into single digits. They were within 4 before that. They were within 2 before that. And now they're at a situation where they're just trying to essentially protect their backsides heading into certainly heading into the end of this quarter. But, certainly it's been a somewhat more beneficial position heading into the last. Everything's just going into place right now for the Wolves. Doesn't matter really what they try. It's reasonably successful. They've got ball movement. They've got penetration, dribble. They're hitting their outside shots as well. They're playing nice defence, and in turn that defence is transitioning nicely. So again, it is a matter for the Kings. They're going to need to make some defensive adjustments. From that, they know that they can hit their shots They know that they've got enough athleticism in their team through the Stratsmans and through the Clarks. Caleb's had a bit of a run as well, so he's contributing nicely. They know that outside shot of Stewart is still there as well. So we will see what comes from that. Big thing too is Hudson Bartlett checks in there. They're going to need a presence on the glass. You don't win without possession of the basketball, and for me, a couple of second chance opportunities if Bartlett and Noah Stratsman can get under that rim, get that ball out. Got some capable shooters there, and Stewart and Clark on the ball.
So Kinborough restart here. Nash now, Clark with it. As the ball getting moved around, some sets of hands here. Stewart at the top here now. Back to Clark. Shot clock at 10 here for the Kings as Noel Clark works his way through and off glass, gets the runner to go.
So good utilisation of that athleticism. Now we're down 16. We need to stop. What can the Wolves do to respond though?
So Richards here, working his way through. Quick double team on that. Now Collins. Here's Jacoby Bone and goes baseline. The help comes. Kick out pass. Brown 3 is short. Payne able to recover. Now he goes baseline and try to wrap around past through tall timber arms. Now Clark here with the ball and a foul on Payne for stepping in first.
Yeah, Clark just smart, used a bit of a, let's just say a protective bar of sorts.
Yes, fair to say.
Good timing in favour of the Kings.
Stewart, now Nash. So Nash finding where he needs to go. Here's Strassman with it. Goes middle. Spin move 2 is short. Gets his own rebound. No box out by the Wolves. Kick out pass to Bartlett. Nash for 3. Long back on.
And he's with...
good heads up play by Noah Clark.
I always get worried when someone jumps split-legged and the ball's being thrown back in as Stewart heads out. And again, you've still got those shooters on the floor. The Clark boys can knock a shot. They've got some nice athleticism as well. Here's the fourth offensive opportunity here for the Kings in this possession. They need to capitalise, or this could be very deflating if some transition points come out of it for the Wolves.
Absolutely. Strassmer works his way through. Good hands by Jacoby Bone.
And there's the foul.
And a quick foul on the play here. Strassmer is a bit frustrated with that one.
Yeah. So again, they give up that possession there. Jacoby gets a substitution. Oldham back in. So we're going starting 5 here for the Wolves. I can just sense they're going to want to put the foot down here, get this one to 20, 22 plus, and call it a game. So here's the real challenge for the Kings.
So Payne brings it down the floor here, just on 4.5 to go here in the third quarter. Backdoor play to Oldham, finally gets there through a bit of a telegraph.
Yeah, no look pass there.
And now Clark with it as we come back down the floor here. So Clark goes to his brother in Xavier, but too much on the pass. Now this is where the Kings need to just kind of have some cooler heads prevail here. Just a couple of bad turnovers. Now they need to just have a cool head for these last few minutes and try and finish out the quarter strong.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. The Wolves have everything to lose here. The Kings just have to play like they've got nothing to lose.
Payne goes up, can't get it. Richards and drew to foul. I think it might be on Nash. I don't think it'd be on Bartlett here.
So wiped off. No, it is called on Bartlett.
Okay.
Substitution as Jordan Stratsman comes in for his namesake Noah. But again, you do have to look on that previous Kings possession. 3-4 offensive chances, turnover. We're now down the other end. The Wolves making free throws. You know, a bit of a coach killer, Ronnie. It is.
And I think you can just see the frustration in Mark Nash and just how hard this Kings team has worked throughout the game. But the Southern Wolves have just been able to come back so easily at times. Just kind of, you think you need to make some better adjustments on the defensive end.
Hudson Bartlett inside.
Can't get that to go. Kick out pass here. Payne able to read that one and deflect.
But again, here's this second chance opportunity. Okay, you're down 18 4 minutes, but with the runs the Kings have been able to produce, they can get this down to single digits and get momentum in their favour heading into the last.
Absolutely. 18 is not a huge margin by a stretch of any means at this point in time.
Not with the way the runs in this game have gone.
So Clark now puts it to the floor. Clark again with some nice moves. Needs to, probably overdid it on that one.
Yeah, a little too much confidence.
And now Richards with it here as he goes through and the layup.
Yeah, Richo's just too big, too strong, too good. And as mentioned, Ronnie, playing the 5, the ability to play the 3. This margin now at 20.
20 is our margin, as Chabe just mentioned. As Clark puts it to the floor. And again, probably a bit of, probably just overdoing it slightly there for young Noah.
Yeah, and this is a learning thing too. You know, you can understand where the confidence is. You can understand where the ability is. You know, and that's good that he's got that confidence, because that's something you don't want to take out of him as a player. But again, this is where the IQ comes in, time and place.
So Richards bringing this one down. 3:20 to play here in the third quarter. So we come to you from the Kinborough Sports Centre by the West Coast Ball Connection YouTube
Fraser
channel.
Payne.
And Payne can't get it to go, gets his own rebound, goes to Strasma instead. Now Strasma off and running, has his brother in support, utilises him. Now Clark for three. Can't get that three to go.
Yeah, I just think the wind is out of the sails here of the Kings.
So Richards coming down the floor here. Now Oldham, who puts it to the floor.
Get out of here.
Rejected by Clark. Get that out of here, he says.
2:52 remaining as Nash and Stewart exchange for one another.
Now Oldham with it. So Oldham trying to go to baseline. Good work by Stewart there. Now Brown thinking about it.
It's
goes
deep.
for it. And not from Old Beach itself there. So Stewart with it, who's got Geordie Strasma in support. Goes baseline. Now good pass here. Good ball movement. Strasma for three. Just long. And Collins pulls down that rebound.
I do like that possession better, though, from the Kings.
Yeah, some good ball movement there. Meanwhile, Payne needs to kick this one out. Richards splits through a couple. Nice pass to Brown for a one-hand jam.
Yeah, a one-handed wham-bam jam. Thank you, ma'am. Nice bit of athleticism, but that could also be the nail in the coffin. We'll see just how the Wolves are able to finish against the Kings here in this quarter.
Absolutely. Luke Brown getting upstairs. Meanwhile, Stewart draws the foul, and he'll go to the line for two.
Yeah, nice little dunk by Brownie, who's been into Swisher the last couple of days, working on his shot. He was letting me know that he wants to work on his corner threes because he feels that's the weakest area, and that's usually where he misses from. Stewart misses the free throw. He won't be happy with that either. That's another boy who loves shooting a basketball.
He certainly does. Good to see the boys getting down to Swisher and getting their shots up, which is fantastic to see. And Stewart knocks down the free throw. Of course, all three owners are here at Swisher. One on the bench, one on the coaching side of things, and one in the stands.
Yes,
tonight.
No Ralph Loren Polo for Stewie tonight on the bench.
Meanwhile, Oldham can't get the two to go. Collins with the O board, and then a few hands there. One of the Strasma boys. He'll be on Geordie Strasma.
Yeah, so that'll send Collins to the line. He's played through that calf injury nice, and I think he's managed to play his role reasonably successful, all things considered. Geordie Strasma heads out. Caleb Nash heads in.
Yeah, so Isaac Collins at the line for two, who is battling hard here, as you mentioned at the top of the show, JB. With kind of that calf complaint or calf strain, one or the other.
Yeah,
there.
it was a grade 1 calf injury. I do know it was grade 1. I know it was suspected 6 to 8 weeks, but he'd be pretty happy to play through this. But depending on how he pulls up, will probably depend on his function and his availability Saturday night.
Yes, it'll be interesting to see.
That's at least it will rain.
That will be maybe a game time decision by Charlotte Collins. So Nash, now Clark here. Double team arrives for the Sunwolves. Now Noel Clark open for three, yes.
Good ball movement. That's the better half-court set we've seen from the Kings here. Down 20. Stopping a basket to end this one, and you just never know.
So Richards puts it to the floor. Good hands by Nash. Richards, throws that one into Mark Nash there. Substitutions, Jackson Collins coming in for Isaac Collins.
Yes, namesake heading in and out. So we will see how this one goes.
So play restarts here, minute 9 would go. So Geordie Strasma with it. No, sorry, that's Xavier Clark. My apologies. As now Noah Strasma puts it to the floor.
He's barreling inside.
Foul on the play.
Yeah, foul on the play. Block called.
Yeah, it was on Brownie.
So 74-54, 59 and a half remaining in the third term. Wolves looking like they've got things in their favour, but stagnant momentum-wise.
Brown tries to save that, but there's Noah Clark.
There's no avail on the practice.
No. Yeah, Isaac Collins just testing. I think I'm not sure if he's just standing or testing out that calf. Interesting to see there.
Yeah, it's probably better if he stays standing, keeps it as stretched as possible, Ronnie. Doesn't allow him to cool down or cramp.
So Clark puts it to the floor. Step back two is good for Noah Clark. On fire here at the Kinborough Sports Centre.
Yeah, a couple of nice sets here for the Kings, and Clark in particular has had a reasonable game. So back to 18, a stop and a basket here. And you can just sense this game swinging a little bit.
Brown into Richards, the 1-2 punch combine, and foul on the play.
Easy call there. Stratsman reaching in, tried to pull out quickly, but again, no avail, and that'll be a trip to the line.
So Wolves in the huddle, which they need to get out of quickly, otherwise a delayed game warning will come. So Richards at the line here. Of course, he's played his basketball with the Hobart Chargers in the NBL 1 South competition this year, and has been, of course, playing his ball here, and as we mentioned, training with the Jack Jumpers as well too. So good to see young Jacob progressing nicely. Yeah,
very nicely, and I mean, due to COVID and different things like that, just has not been able to.
And a blocking foul is going to be called on Brownie. Brownie can't believe it. I don't think Brownie had the position.
No, and I would suggest that it will be smart of Brownie to just be peaceful on that one, as sometimes Brownie's control of his emotions can occasionally get the best of him.
So Richards and Brown now having a conversation with referee Connor Westwood. Of course, a bit of back and forth. Now they're asking for a towel. Obviously, Brownie sweaty, and we'll need to clean up the mop, clean up the wet area. Sorry. So Connor Westwood with janitorial duty here. Not usually the referee's responsibility, but anyway. I know I've done that I remember doing that in a Seabull game, and I had referee Martin Parker tell me off after the game, actually at half time about it. Apparently not to ever do that again.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, quite interesting.
Who'd have ever thought the voice of reason to be Marty Parker?
Yes, shout out to Marty Parker.
I've seen too many instances where the voice of reason was needed for Marty.
Yes.
Come round here, come round here. Misses the free throw. Brown gets that one.
Just under. So game clock and shot clock in unison here as we get our way to the end of the third.
Thank God the umpires from the Gabba aren't here. They'd have called her off a bad light, Ronnie.
Yes, of course, Paul Rifle and Rod Tucker.
Yeah, the Kings haven't paid their power bill. Where's Ron Nash?
Meanwhile,
at the basket.
Nice drive by Fraser Payne, and a good patient play there by the Southern Wolves as they just let the Kings just lapse there a little bit on the defensive end.
Yeah, nice drive there by Fraser, who I think Fraser's one of those guys, Ronnie, that I think a lot of our other juniors need to look up to. Fraser's a guy that could go to another club.
Absolutely.
He could go to another team. He could be that first, second option. He could demand 35 minutes a game. He could hog possession of the basketball. But he's in a situation on most of his teams now where, you know, he looks around and he can see, right, I'm a really good facilitator. I'm a really athletic guard. And I've got guys around me who can score. Okay, I can pinch hit on the scoreboard when I need to, but my best skill is my athleticism and getting others involved.
We'll come back to that in about 3 seconds here. Stewart. Now Clark for the Hail Mary is good for Xavier Clark on the three-quarter time buzzer. The bank is open, JB.
Bloody oath the bank's open, Ronnie. That was a massive shot. Big shot there by Clark, and both Clark boys heavily involved in this one. And okay, it's back to 17. That's a momentum shot. There's no doubt about that. And yeah, massive basket. Didn't look too bad whatsoever from when he let that go. And that was just around where that blue charge circle, where the blue semicircle is. Banked that home nicely. And for the Kings, this is where they need to, you know, while it comes at a great time, doesn't always come at a great time either, because this is now just a time for the Wolves to, don't worry about it, it's three-quarter time. It happened. You know, we'll wait about things from there. So, big shot. Let's see whether they can build on it. But again, for the Wolves, it's just a matter now. You know, you're up by 17. Don't sit on the ball. Don't try and spread the floor. But you've clearly played a game plan for 3 quarters that has worked. Do not deviate from a game plan that has worked for 3 quarters when you have substitutions, when you don't have foul trouble, and you clearly have the advantage in seniority and position in this game. Again, for the Kings, we've seen them go on runs. If this game gets close, though, I would not want to be the Southern Wolves. because the pressure is going to come from the Southern Wolves that, okay, you know, we had the double chance. Let's make the most of our double chance here. For the Kings, okay, we're down 17. Yeah, we weren't expected really to win last week. You know, we're in the elimination final. We're now in the prelim final. Let's see what we can do. There are clearly some tired bodies there, though, from the Kings. That was a massive third term. And again, just touching back on that Fraser Payne point too. You know, Fraser's a fourth option in this squad. Fraser goes to any other team. He's a first, second option. Could hog the ball for 35, do what he wanted to. When you've got guys willing to sacrifice, you generally have success.
Absolutely. And one of the most nicest people you ever meet as well too. Great kid off the court as well. Certainly doing his role nicely here with the Southern Wolves. Collins, now Oldham here for the corner three. Yes.
Yeah, and seeing that immediately erases. If you take away the impact of what a half-court shot does, that three response, it's back to 20, 80, 60.
So Kings a little play for a bit of pride in this last quarter. Nash goes up and gets the two to go.
Back and forth start of this quarter. Again, wouldn't want to get in a track meet here with the Wolves, but when one of your key players is down with a calf injury, it's not necessarily the worst tactic in the world.
Payne inside here to Richards. Richards works his way through. Throws it down with some authority.
Throw it down with authority. Two-handed wham, bam, jam, thank you, ma'am. He's rolled inside 4-on-1 and thrown that thing down. Throw it down, young fella.
So Nash, now Clark, who puts it to the floor here. Step back three is just in and out on that one. Payne with the rebound, and now Payne just needs to regain control here. Now he's Brown. Ooh, backdoor play to Collins here.
Clark looking confused defensively there.
They just lost their assignment. Now Richards and the putback two.
Yeah, and you can just see losing the battle on the glass. You get a dunk from Richards there. You give up a three. You know, another easy putback there. And all of a sudden the Wolves have erased what was a massive shot at three-quarter time.
Stewart from deep.
That was big, though. But again, the Wolves have answered every question that's been asked of them so far in this game. Can they do it again? Collins, probably a healthier, would have saved that one better, but the Kings go away with it.
Absolutely. So Clark now putting on some moves. Now Stewart puts it to the floor. Step back for back-to-back. Nearly.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident. I was pretty confident on that one, Ronnie.
Yes, absolutely.
Glad you gave him the curse.
Thank you very much.
But 2 minutes gone, so this has been a nice action-packed start. JB tries not to throw the camera.
Yes. Oh, jeez. Meanwhile, Brown inside. Now kick out. Payne for three. Just can't get it to go. Collins and Brown work together, and another foul on Nash, who kind of comes down or swipes down on the play.
Yeah, clearly had him on the wrist from our vantage point, Ronnie.
Yes.
Easy call to make.
Yeah, substitutions galore coming in. The Strassman brothers are coming in. Jacoby Bone coming in as Chris Oldham, and it's going to be Hudson Bartlett, Callum Nash for a breather here. 7:46 remaining in this last quarter. Coming to you from the Kinborough Sports Centre. Fraser Payne just talking to the fans there. I don't know who he's exactly talking to down there, but anyway, meanwhile, free throw.
Where is he?
Well, he's there. He's there, and he was looking in this direction. He's looking in that direction. So he's just having a quick 5-minute breather. Meanwhile, Collins knocks down the free throw.
My God.
A bit of multitasking.
Don't get me started.
Meanwhile, Stewart here with the ball carrying duties. Now Clark into Strassmer. Strassmer nearly found the open gap, but closed out there. Stewart decides to fire once again, and that missed everything.
Yeah, heat check there, Ronnie. Back to 20 points.
And again, that pass doesn't work really. Too many light blue jerseys there. Now Clark for the mid-range too. Just short. Strassmer with the O-board. And now he tries mid-range. He can't get that to go either.
Yeah, Payne's had a nice start to this fourth. He's been on the boards.
So Payne goes exploring.
Oh!
And a foul there on Noel Clark.
Yeah, that one will be on the hip, I'd say.
Yep.
Looked like he was pretty clean on the ball, but yeah, just jumping, extending that arm bar there. 9 times out of 10, Ronnie, you'd know as a ref, don't really care if the player jumps to protect themselves, but any extension of an arm bar is a call.
Yeah, that's correct, JB. So Fraser Payne at the line for two, who has certainly worked hard on his game throughout the year, and as I said, one of the most nicest people you will meet away from the court, and one of those hard blue-collar workers, and has found a nice role within this team, as you mentioned, JB.
Yeah, and I mean that's the key. That's the key of a star player, honestly, someone who's able to play their role and execute.
So Stewart, now Strassmer here. Strassmer got the step, and no call on the play.
Yeah, flop warning coming there. There was contact made. I don't know whether it was enough to put Brown on his backside, but there was
Strassman
contact.
for the corner 3, yes, and we will now get the mop. Now, will we get the actual flop warning here from referee Connor Westwood?
Yes, well, there's Stevens. Kim Stevenson getting the towel.
Yep, towels galore.
And we're about to get the whistle there from Westwood.
We're just waiting to see. Yep, so that's a flop. Yep, there we go. Charlotte Collins accepts that nicely.
Thank you. I've never in my life heard a coach say thank you for a flop warning. Tell you what.
There you go. So Luke Brown with a flop warning assessed on him. Meanwhile, Strassman and Richards having a nice conversation down the upper end.
Yeah, it seems like everyone's just having a bit of a chat, bit of a smile.
It is Wednesday night. Of course.
Do you know what that means, Ronnie?
Uni night.
No, it means it's hump day.
Oh, it is hump day. Yes, happy hump day.
Mate, I've grown up from uni nights.
Thank you very much,
It's alleged.
Of course, the Jack Jumpers play the Adelaide 36ers tomorrow night at MyState Bank Arena as well too. Meanwhile,
interesting to see how close you get to the game there, Ronnie.
Yes, it will be. Meanwhile, Richards on the tip after Fraser Payne misses
He'll
the
claim
try.
an assist on that too, I bet you.
He certainly will.
Damn.
Glad we're not taking stats on this game.
Oh, my.
Meanwhile, Clark lost it. Now his brother Noah has it. Back to Xavier. Here's the Clark twins combined. Right. And a foul on the play.
Tell you what we will be getting though, Ronnie, no doubt we're going to have to probably do a little clip for the WCBC for the 3 jams we've had tonight.
Yes, we will. We got good response to Harry Griffiths one from last week.
Harry Griffiths, I tell you what, if anyone's watched that more than Harry, I know a guy.
We are near up to 3,000 views. Meanwhile, Clark goes up. Good defensive play by Richards.
I tell you what, he skied for that block. Good little help there.
So Payne, now Collins. Here's Brown once again. Brown thought about it. Now Richards puts it to the floor, goes up, and, well, just a bit too hard, and a foul will be on Jacoby Bone as that shot, nearly goes.
So 5:48, 21-point margin is two-thirds of the Swisher connection.
Yeah. Yes, Clark twins coming off. Substitution. Jasper Hay coming back into the game after a very extended break.
He didn't get his jersey caught in the shirt this time.
No, he certainly did.
Good upgrade by the young fella. He's getting there.
Yes, Jasper Hay, of course, plays with New Norfolk at local club level as well too. Good to see him stepping up to play for the Wolves here. Meanwhile, Payne tried to do everything and bodies hit the floor there between Brown and Geordie Strassman.
Now, I actually thought that foot violation come off of... Stratsman then, but...
No, I don't think it did.
Clearly not. Tell you what, I need that bad light call.
You may too.
It's about the only excuse I got left.
Strassman here. A good screen by Hudson Bartlett and Strassman for the 2.
Yeah, very handy off-ball screen there by Hudson Bartlett. And a nice drive and finish on the left.
So margin at 19 here, about 5.5 to go. I'd say if there's one more run, the Kings have to make it now before it's all over Red Rover.
Yeah, they can't allow anything demoralising either.
As Collins nearly puts us to bed on that one. And then Hay.
They need to grab the rebound there, and I think that's something Mark had emphasised too. They had the ability to get that and run. Now instead they're going to have to go into a half-court set against a good D. So
Strassman here. Now Stewart. Thought about it, now goes to Nash. Nash putting it to the floor here, and then he drew the foul. And Geordie Strass can't get 3 to go. Foul on Jasper Hay.
Pass definitely called there.
So Kings get it off on the side. Now Noah Strassman for 3. Yes.
Not a bad start. Now Mark Nash wants the...
They want that extensive pressure up the floor, JB.
Yeah, and I don't blame them because they need to get some really quick points on the board.
16 is our margin. Clock issue once again.
Stop the clock.
So...
Stop the clock. Chat, whatever. The reason I don't sing. I sing in sign language, Ronnie.
Yes.
And I read the lyrics in Braille.
Enough said as we've... Connor Westwood just rectifying that issue, and now we're right to go once again here. So Collins into Payne or Richards, one or the other here on a sprint race, and then Hay lost it. And Mark Nash wants timeout, so he realises this last 4 minutes and 51 seconds is crucial for the Kings here in order to make a late bit run to try to get this one back into some single digits.
Yeah, and again, that extensive pressure I'll start again. Third time's a charm. That extensive pressure up the floor isn't necessarily the biggest tactic to just try and simply force, trying to force the turnovers, Ronnie. It's a matter of, if we get the stop early, we get the basket earlier, we've got more time in our favour. And I think as a coach you'd probably have to agree with that there. It's not necessarily about the stop. It's where we get possession of the basketball and it's how much time we've got to score. It's going to be interesting to see just how that pays off. It is a 16-point margin. The game gets within single digits. The pressure goes back onto the Wolves because the Kings have then done their job. They've got themselves in a more advantageous position. But if they're unable to get themselves in that position, and it is a matter for the Wolves, they're only got to come down and respond with a couple of baskets, and it's back to 20 points. It's all over Red Rover. But again, it's going to be key, the execution on the offensive end for the Kings, in turn remembering that extensive pressure and getting quick baskets on the board if they're able to get those turnovers.
All right, play restarts here, so Nash with it. As the Kings start to run their set and see what they can get out of it. Now Strasma putting on some moves. Goes for three, over Brown, in and out on that one. Richards wanted a foul and he wasn't getting it, so play continues as we come down the floor here. So Brown. So ball now foul off the ball here. That looks like it's going to be on Bartlett there for a bit of a hold.
Yeah, not a bad foul to take though. Stops some momentum as Stewart heads out. David finding a paddle. Does he know which one? It is number three.
You will never outdo our young lad from last week.
I tell you what, he might be the best I've seen in the South, well, even a regular score bench, Ronnie.
Yes, I agree. Payne with a drive and gets it to go. Nice drive by Fraser Payne.
Yeah, I think Mark Nash is disgruntled, but that was just a lovely athletic move.
Strasbourg for the response.
So in there, Mark Nash wants the team up again. They need to remember to stay there defensively, and he wants Clark back in the game for it.
End-to-end stuff here. 15 points is the margin. 91-76 as Brown got that pass deflected and goes back to him. Now Collins. Cross-court to Oldham here for a corner two. Can't get it to go. Richards rebound and a foul will be on Bartlett for coming over the top.
Yeah, and that's reasonably easy call to make. It's not undisciplined. It's just the fact that, well, Richo's just that little bit taller. As paddle number 4 comes up from his Faja.
Caleb Nash just grimacing. Kind of looked in towards our direction there too, JB. He's really feeling it at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he's had a reasonably big day again. Had a nice little workout in this morning, along with Jeffrey, who is a pro member at Swisher.
Yes, he
is a really hard worker.
As Richards goes 1 of 2.
So it's back to 16 points. Let's see what can happen.
So Clark, now Nash. Nash thinking about it, put some moves on. Through Oldham. Nice move by Caleb Nash to get the 2.
He's had a nice game here, Caleb. He shouldn't be too disappointed in himself.
No, he certainly has. He'll probably be asking for highlights, that's for sure. EWCBC will make sure to get him something. Meanwhile, Brown puts it to the floor, goes up. Brownie can't get that one to go. Now Strasbourg with the rebound. Here is a chance to make this game something out of nothing here. Nash
Kings need to make a decision.
Goes for it himself. And gets it to go. Caleb Nash from downtown.
Jeez.
And Charlotte Collins has seen enough. She'll call timeout. Margin back at 11.
Jesus. And we get the grin and the smile from Stewie. Christie's all impressed. I couldn't believe it's dropped. It was one of the biggest shots we've seen in a long time. My God. 84-92.
Oh, we're back to a 12-point game.
84-92, Ronnie, that's 8 points.
8 points.
What have we been doing?
I said it went back to 11. The scoreboard needs to hurry up and get that.
It's not us.
Score quickly.
It's not us.
8 points. Rightio. 92-84 goes
This
over.
game is more interesting than we thought it was meant to be. That was a hell of a shot. That was from deep. It was high arcing. And you know what? It had a lot of Terry Masunda about it in the high arcing and nothing but net. Terry with a lot more ball rotation.
Shout out to Terry Masunda.
Absolutely. I'm looking at the back half of the Swisher connection over the back of us on our left side here. Christy Nash, Mama Nash was very happy with that. Larissa was all smiles. And Stewie had that Stewie grin and nod. He approved. Caleb Nash has had a very big game here, Ronnie. He's going to want to finish it off with a bang.
Absolutely. We're at 8 here. We've got a ball game on our hands.
It's jumping by the minute.
Absolutely. Payne being closely guarded by Clark. So Payne Being patient here on this set. Brown inside to Richards. Richards for the 2, yes. And that's a good option too. Good change up.
Yeah, and this is where Jacob needs to take over this game too. He's got that potential to really control it.
So Clark, now to his brother, Clark again. Now Clark this time. He's short.
Yeah, heat check there. And I think it's just smart too. Caleb didn't want to burn his bridges too much. Just gave that one off.
Nice hands by Strasmer. Payne able to recover here. So Payne now to Richards and gets the 2 to go. One of the call referees didn't see it that way.
Yeah, I thought it was all clear on the ball from the block from behind. So this one now back out to 12.
So Strasmer working this one through.
As far as we know, it's 12.
Yes. Now Clark. Back to Strasmer here at the corner. Goes himself, uses that arm.
Blocked by Collins.
And then good work by Collins and Jacoby Bone there to get the stop.
Yeah, nah, good stop. Good physicality there. Jacoby really solid down low as well. And, yeah, that's a lot of work to get through.
It's 2 minutes to go here.
It again, make or break, Ronnie.
It is. And the next minute it's going to really test that here. Now, Wolves, if they're smart, will utilise the clock here on their end. Payne puts it to the floor and a quick foul on Geordie Strasmer, who stepped up on the play.
Easy call to make there, and he's walking to the bench, and that's 5.
Yep. 5 fouls as Archie Stewart comes back in, minute 49 remaining.
It's not actually the worst thing, though. I mean, it is bad for that Jordan's fouled out, but they've got a lethal shooter that's come onto the floor. So they've currently got Nash, who's on fire from deep. The Clark brothers have hit shots. Payne's just missed the free throw. And we saw Stewart hit a big shot last week, Ronnie. And by name and nature, he can shoot. He can flat out shoot.
I've seen it as a coach coaching against him, and it's not pretty.
He's the catalyst for the state championship under-18 champs this year.
Absolutely.
Let's
13 are marching. They need to get going now. So Nash puts it to the floor here, goes up and gets it to go. He'll go to the line for 1. 96 seconds remaining. Marching back to 11.
Yeah, Caleb having one of the better games we've seen of him all year here. And ultimately, Ronnie, it's that confidence. He's getting that first step. He's utilising that first step. He's using that length and athleticism. The jumper's falling for him. And when a player's got that confidence, they're just able to get stuff done.
So Nash, can he complete a 3-point play? He can. So back to 10 here. So pressure up the floor here by the Kings. As Payne works his way through nicely and goes himself and missed everything. Play now quickly up the floor here through Noel Clark. Now to Xavier Clark. The Clark twins combine. And a foul on the play here. And it's going to be on Jacoby Bone. And that will send Noel Clark to the line for 2.
Yeah, and Fraser Payne just probably going a little too much. He wanted the pass. Charlotte Collins wanted to wall up defensively. Now, Ronnie, do you make one and go for the 3, or do you go for 2 and get a stop?
Well,
foul trouble either way.
Yes, it's interesting to see what will happen here.
Good shot.
Noel Clark knocks it down. We're hearing "Don't gamble" from head coach Mark Nash. So, be interesting to see what they do then.
No sports bet references from me.
No, thank you very much. Meanwhile, margin at 8. So here we go, minute 20.
See what they can do. Scoreline, we appear, is correct.
So 97-89 in what has been an entertaining game throughout here at the Kinborough Sports Centre.
A genuine game of runs, Ronnie.
Absolutely, it has been, JB. Shot clock at 8 here as Collins, wraparound pass. Payne for the dagger. Can't get that to go. Jacoby Bone with the O board and the tap away. Now Collins inside, got the mismatch and the foul. And that wasn't a bad play by the Southern Wolves.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. And I think the hard thing for the guys on the bench there, hard thing for the Clarks too, it's just that off arm that I'm assuming is most of the call here. Because it doesn't look too bad of a play on the ball, but it's that off arm that is the ultimate decider there.
So Isaac Collins at the line here and just short on that one.
And you can audibly hear the gasp of everybody. Yes. So this is, an 8-point game. A 3-pointer makes it 5. Then a quick stop.
Yes.
And it's anybody's.
It could well be. So Collins needs to knock this free throw down and does. So 9 points is our margin. So here we go. Nash now quickly guarded by Payne, but Nash equal to it here. Now closely guarded, and Strasmer nearly lost it, able to regain it. Kick out pass here, Clark Now, Xavier Clark for three.
Ooh.
Can't get the goal last. Nash with the O ball.
Get out of here,
Rejected
says
by
Brown.
Brown. Brown with a big defensive play.
Yeah, Nash wanted a call.
And now Collins up the floor here will slow this one down. I think that's could be all over Red Rover here, JB.
They need to get the ball through hands, though, the Wolves.
They do. They can't play keepings off here too quick. Now Collins. Double team arrives. Brown for three. Just short on that one. And Payne again saves it. Richards did well to grab that one in. Just one of those.
Shot clock still not running, though.
No, shot clock is out, and this will slow down here. I think both teams have realised that now. What a game we've had here, JB, as the Southern Wolves get the win, and they'll face Glenorchy in the grand final on Saturday night at Lorraine. But what a great fight back there by the Kings, who didn't give up at all in that game.
No, it was an absolute frantic finish there. That one ended up being closer than we expected. Off scoreboard adjustments, things going backwards and forwards. And you do just have to ask the question, Ronnie, what if on a couple of those little humps there, they get within 2, they get within 4, all of a sudden the game goes from 20 to 10, margins blow out. They have a final run here for the Kings. It's those little execution factors just when it come to nut crunching time a little bit there in that game that certainly probably changed the outlook of this. I was very happy with the way Fraser Payne played in this game. Excuse me. The way Fraser Payne played in this game, the way Caleb Nash played in this game, I think it was a credit to both of those boys. It was great to watch them play. Jacob Richards, Luke Brown always delivering. Isaac Collins seems like he's pulled up okay with that calf there. The Clark brothers both played exceptional games in my book there, and I think both the Clark brothers and Caleb Nash, the ultimate reason why the Kings were certainly within this game. Noah Stratzman not necessarily 100%. Geordie Stratzman fouling out. Hudson Bartlett, playing that big man role when he was getting on in those minutes there. A really good quality game of basketball. I don't think the margin reflects truly what sort of... Probably in the end it probably does, and that's because of those small execution factors but for the Kings. But as you mentioned there, Ronnie, the Southern Wolves, they lose last week. They win tonight. They go through on Saturday, 1 versus 2 in the men's competition at Lorraine on Saturday night. No Phoenix Roby is going to be a big one, but of course the injury to Isaac Collins and a 3-day backup for the Wolves. It's going to be a hell of a contest, and it should be a quality night of basketball.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to it, JB. And, of course, the West Coast Ball Connection cameras will be at the Lorraine Basketball Stadium for both grand finals. It will be Kinborough taking on Hobart in the women. And as you just mentioned there, Southern Wolves taking on Glenorchy in the men. 6:30 and 8 o'clock tip-offs. Be sure to be there. If not, if you're upstairs in the bar, we'll make sure we try and get the TV going for you for the monitor. And otherwise, you'll catch all our games on the West Coast Ball Connection YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe and keep up to date with all the goings on here at the WCBC. On behalf of Justin Bryan, I'm Ronald Riggs. We'll see you Saturday night at Lorraine.